Let me share something with you guys, my beloved brothers. Right now, there is a big wave that's happening. There is a big momentum shift when it comes to people practicing Islam, especially with what's happening with Palestine right now as well, brothers. Understand and know one thing. Globally, there's a shift. Allah Azza wa Jal, let me explain to you what's been happening. Like from purely a historical, geopolitical perspective, I'm going to paint to you a narrative. When the Ottoman Empire got folded, it was coming to an end. The Ottoman Empire was coming to an end in fighting Islam, and the countries in the Arab states were becoming secular. In Afghanistan, they were wearing skirts. In Libya, they were wearing skirts, women, in the early 1900s. So Islam was coming to like an end because the Ottomans adopted like a very kind of Sufi kind of tariqah, and religion was just sentimental and values and swords and designs and masjids and just sculptures and monuments. That's what religion became. So when they dissolved in the early 1900s, loads of people then, everyone became countries then. Everyone became countries. You know, Muslim countries, it was no longer a caliphate. The Khalifa was no longer there. It was all just nation countries by themselves. Borders being drawn by the non-Muslims. And then what ended up happening is, Islam was dying out. You know, barely, 10, 20,000 people would go for Hajj. Okay? As time goes on, and as the West waged a war with the Muslims, and as things happen, and as time was progressing, you were seeing that, subhanAllah, even in my own family, my own family, 20, 30 years ago at weddings, one person would get up to pray salah. 20, 30 years ago in my whole household in the UK, a good 80, 90 people, my grandma was the only one that prayed salah, and even then it was on and off. Times have changed after 9/11, where they tried to extinguish the light of Allah. 9/11, the whole plan was to remove Islam. Just totally get rid of it. It's dying out, get rid of it. But wallahi, what did they do? They plot and plan, but Allah also plots and plans, and Allah is the best of planners. The biggest ever single revival of Islam we have ever seen in history after 9/11. And then what ended up happening is, we're seeing now a sprouting, a blossoming of young children, especially now on TikTok and Instagram and social media. We're seeing Islam at the front. And then you got these popular celebrities, these influential people, Andrew Tate and other people of their likes, etc., all accepting Islam. Footballers, big actors, big people, fighters. Khabib Nurmagomedov comes out. Loads of things are happening, loads of shifts. And now with Palestine right now, what's happening, brothers and sisters? Wallahi, let me tell you something. I can see it all in front of me. That there is a big wave of Islam happening right now. Islam being pushed. I don't know any young even non-practicing Pakistani young Muslim, whatever, who hasn't shared something about Palestine. A religious affair. And so therefore right now, Allah is softening the hearts of the young people in the West especially. We can't do anything. What can we do? We can't go there and help them. We can't go there and support them. So what can we do? The biggest and number one thing every single one of you can do right now is to focus on your own relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember Musa alayhi salam. At the time of Bani Israel, Allah withheld rain from coming, and there was a drought. And Musa would beg Allah to send down rain. Allah did not send down rain until they found out that there was one man amongst them that was a sinner and that had not made repentance. Once he made repentance, Allah sent down His mercy and His rain. Your actions, my actions, the state of our heart is directly linked to the affairs of the ummah. That's the first thing. So what you and me all need to do amidst what's happening in Palestine right now is every single one of us needs to take it upon ourselves to have muhasabah, self-accountability, where you hold yourselves to account. You're seeing what's happening here. 500 people got bombed in a hospital. 500 people. Children dying. Blood in the streets. And now, what are we doing right now? We're sitting here. We are helpless. Wallahi, uqsam billah, we're helpless in one regard. Physically, we can't do anything. But you know what we can do? We can use this as a time to revive Islam within our hearts. We can use this time to revive Islam within our lives. We can use this time to make Islam the central focus of our life. Because Allah Azza wa Jal is planning and preparing that region for something great. Wallahi, Allah is planning it for something great. But when will greatness descend? When will victory descend? It will descend when the hearts are ready. I saw a brother inside the masjid here, yeah? Inside this masjid. And this boy, when he comes to the masjid, wallahi, like he drags his feet, man. He only comes when his parents tell him to come. And then one day I see him, and I see him making dua. And he's like, Ya Allah, ya. I'm hearing him like, yo, what happened to this guy, man? This guy, like normally when we're like, he's normally making jokes out of us. He's not really practicing. What happened to him? He used to be cynical. He used to just chat breeze and banter all the time and never take anything seriously. What happened to him? And then, subhanAllah, I asked one of the brothers, said that his father passed away. Oh, subhanAllah, his father passed away. So what has to happen is calamity and difficulty for Allah to squeeze the Muslims so that their heart becomes soft. The difficulty and hardship that is happening in the ummah right now is for a significant purpose for us, and that is for our hearts to become soft. Their pain and their struggle is a means of you reflecting upon your own life. So when you see bloodshed happening, when you see the Muslims suffering, know that Allah Azza wa Jal is uniting the Muslims, and Allah is creating their hearts to be soft. All that rust in our hearts, wallahi, all that dirt and filth that we have gathered on our hearts, Allah is causing this squeeze and pain of the ummah to allow that rust to come off, to allow that softness to begin, to allow us to cry in our sujood, to allow us to feel the pain that they're going through. And through that softness that we find within our hearts, Allah will revive the hearts of people. Inna Allah yahulun bayna al-mar'i wa qalbi. Indeed, it is Allah who comes between a man and his heart. No man can do this. No human, no lecture, no influencer, no one. No one can do anything to change the hearts. Wallahi, the hearts are only changed by Allah. So what you see of the world today, make sense of it through your own life. Make sense of it through your own heart. Make sense of it through your own will and determination to become a better Muslim. Right now, lines are being drawn and sides are being chosen. Wallahi, I'm seeing the most liberal imams in America saying, that's it. We will no longer be the same with you. We will no longer be the same with you. When our brothers and sisters are dying, all you can focus on is what happened on the 7th of October with Hamas. That's all you can focus on. That's all you care about. You don't see what's happening to our brothers and sisters. You don't see their plight. What is it when a Muslim dies and gets killed? You don't care about that? Wallahi, these liberal imams and liberal activists in America, they're waking up as well. They're saying that there has to be a level of disassociation now. How is it? Because what did all the activism do? Black Lives Matter and all these things. They were doing all that in America. They were chanting and raving and being activists and standing up for... But now, this is a battle between truthhood and falsehood. And now all of their activism is coming back to bite them. What is true activism? What is true activism in Islam? It is that you feel the pain of the ummah and you speak up and you wake up. And wallahi, may Allah guide and bless these liberals that are in America. But now they're speaking about a concept in Islam which is called al-wala wal-bara, love and hate for the sake of Allah. They're now speaking about things that are real, which what we should have been doing. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. For far too long, we've been glorifying these celebrities. Floyd Mayweather, everyone buying box office tickets for a Floyd Mayweather fight. Wallahi, I'm sick. I did it once. Right? But now look at what he comes out. I stand with Israel. La ilaha illallah. True colors are showing. You think they care about anyone? They care about money and clout. Money and clout is their God. So this is why they have drawn a line. When they say, I stand with Israel, that means I don't stand with the Palestinians. So the line has been drawn. And as Muslim, let me ask you a question. Put your hand up if you don't know what's happening in Palestine right now. If you haven't heard of what's going on. Everyone knows what's going on, yeah? What are you actually doing about it? No, on a level. What is actually happening in your life? This is what I'm saying. You see the pain that's going through. You know what's happening. It's horrific. But what steps are you taking? And the biggest thing that you can do right now, fixing yourself. Fixing who you are and your identity and your love and hate for the sake of Allah. Choosing a side. This is it. This is the biggest thing. Choosing a side. Choosing a stand. Choosing a posture. Because if you don't have a posture, if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And this is why these events are unraveling those people who have nifaq and hypocrisy in their hearts. If you have hypocrisy in your heart, my beloved brother, you need to realize that that hypocrisy is coming out in your silence. That hypocrisy is coming out that you don't want to change yourself. That hypocrisy is coming out at the fact that you're sitting there idle, seeing everything happen, and you don't look within yourself. You don't wake up for tahajjud. You don't make dua for them. You don't feel that pain. And the scholars have said that a sign of hypocrisy is that you feel no pain when the ummah feel pain. So let us take it upon ourselves to fix our relationship with Allah, our belief, our tawheed, our belief who Allah is. Learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, understand who He is, understand what's halal and what's haram. Be amongst the righteous brothers, the righteous people, the righteous friends. And the second thing, listen, it's not just be a good boy and tidy your bedroom. No. Here's what you need to do. Every single one of us as young people right now need to make sure that we are not silent in what's happening right now. Have you ever seen Sky News and BBC? At least every 2 or 3 days they're backtracking. We're sorry, we shouldn't have said this. Sorry, we misrepresented. You know why? The pressure has never been so strong. They're realizing Muslims are not fools. We're not fools. Wallahi, the ummah of Muhammad are not foolish. We aren't to be taken as a joke. Because for us, when we see what's happening right now, we are being vocal and we're speaking up. And we're saying, no, we don't care who you are. Look at what's happening in Jordan and in Egypt, in countries all over the world, in London today. And yet people got their opinions about protests. But wallahi, for me, I'm happy. Because I get to see how many people care about the Muslims who are being oppressed. And I love to see that. Wallahi, I love to see that people care about the Muslims. And that pushback is needed on a global level. But change begins at home. Change begins with you. Change begins with every single one of us.